Hey guys, it's Paul from Ashen Phoenix. It is new comic book day for the week of July 18th, and we're going to get started right now.
Hey guys, Tim from Caves and Scales in the comic book store, and I have a lot of trades this week. You ready for a lot of trades? I gotta tell you, Paul, right now, right now, I read 3 books, and I like them all. And right now, I have no idea which one's my pick of the week. They were that good. Wow. I enjoyed all 3 of my books. Little suspense. I'm building suspense. Alright, let's do the trades. We've got League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. This is the Volume 3 Century. Some Alan Moore for all you Alan Moore fans. We've got Titans, the Lazarus Contract. This was already out in hardcover. Now it's in floppy. It was good. All liked it. We got Falcon, Volume 1 of 1? I don't know, man. Marvel relaunches a lot. We've got Curse Words, Volume 3 by Charles Soule, who's really cool. And Ryan Brown art is always fun. We've got Shipwreck from Aftershock Comics. I didn't read this, but the owner of the store, Al, he did, and he loved it. So it's probably pretty good. Spider King. This I read a couple issues of, and I really enjoyed. IDW book. Really good. We've got Wildstorm, Michael Cray, if you're a fan of Deathblow from Image Comics. Hunting down superheroes that have gone astray. You'll dig it. Superman Deadpool. I'm owning it. Superman and Deadpool go on an adventure with tacos and kryptonite. We've got Invincible Iron Man, The Search for Tony Stark. This is the lead into the Tony Stark series, which is going now. Days of Hate. I heard this was really good. I plan on reading it. I have not yet. A lot. I told you there's a lot of trade. Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, Volume 3. Still going strong. Brooklyn Blood. I know nothing about it, but it looks really sweet. Miss Marvel, Volume 9. Still going strong, the Miss Marvel. We've got God Complex. I can't read the cool logo. Dogma. God Complex Dogma. I remember thumbing through this when it came out, and it looked pretty cool. Maybe it is. The new Overstreet price guide is out. It comes in either softcover or hardcover. You have a couple options on which cover you get. Planet of the Apes. You've got a Brave and the Bold style Flash and Green Lantern by Van Sciver. I know everybody feels different ways about Van Sciver. And I think there's other ones as well. 6-figure crowdfunding. The no BS guide to running a life-changing campaign. It's a book. It's a book. But it's about comics. You might like it. It's about crowdfunding. I don't know. Hellboy, Omnibus, Volume 3. They're still cranking these out. I'm still waiting for Volume 1 to come back in stock. Spider-Man, Volume 4, the Miles Morales one. He fights the Hobgoblin. Who doesn't love that? Rome West. I've heard this is great. It's can't talk. Luffridge. And he's pretty cool. British guy, I believe. Shadowman. Very cool voodoo-inspired superhero from Valiant. The Flash by Jeff Johns. It's Jeff Johns. It's great. Plus, it's Wally. It's the real Flash. The Meta-Baron. Book 1, The Techno-Admiral and the Anti-Baron. Some of these books are really cool, and some of them I just don't get. But this looks cool. Dork by Evan Dorkin. I met Evan Dorkin once. He was very cool. So, buy that book. And then last, just because it's huge, another Humanoids book who do the Meta-Barons. It is Bouncer. And it is shrink wrapped, so I can't thumb through it. But it looks like some sort of Western thing with a guy with one arm, so I like that. You like that, Paul? Yeah. You got a quick draw, but you got one arm? It might be good. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's fantastic.
All right.
All right.
First up, we have Euthanauts, issue number 1. I'm going to hold this up for a little bit longer because I got yelled at. But yeah, I talk with my hands and I lean on things because my knees are terrible.
Go ahead. I got you. I'm going to hold it for you.
No, you don't have to hold it for me.
I got it. Look how cool this cover is.
That's nice. Can I go on now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Euthanauts is a weird book. I'd imagine if you read the previews and things like that, they give you a lot more update on, or at least a better idea of what the book is supposed to be. But I feel that you shouldn't have to read previews to understand what's going on. You should be able to just pick something up off the shelf and read it. You can't do that with this. It just feels odd. It's even kind of hard to explain. Basically, you are dealing with the afterlife and how we are chained to it or not chained to it, and people that kind of go in between these two worlds. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's a weird book. I would have to read the second issue just to kind of understand what is going on with that book, because the first issue just really doesn't have a lot to be able to kind of hold on to. So it's a flyer. If you've read the previews and you know what it is, then go for it. If you don't, this is going to be a weird book for you to pick up and try to make sense of. You can put it down now.
Thanks, buddy. I helped. Alright guys, first up I got The Weatherman, issue 2. This is cover B, I believe. I don't know. That doesn't matter. It is. Okay, cover B. Brutal Noodles is on the back, which just looks awesome. Just fun. If you remember my review of issue 1, I really enjoyed the book. It's about a weatherman who probably caused the end of the world and doesn't even realize it. So they go further into details on how this guy could have blown up Earth, essentially, killed billions of people, and not realized. I don't want to go too much into the detail, but the way it's written is really great. It sets up who's the hero, who's the villain, why somebody would probably have done this, and it moves the story along at a breakneck speed from about the middle on. I'm very excited to see where it goes. I didn't know what to expect from this series, although I was all in anyways, because I enjoyed the other books that they have done. Read it. It's great. It's different and great. Why aren't you reading it? You suck if you're not reading it.
Next issue, we have not my pick of the week. Batman, issue number 51. Not saying this book was bad. The book was awesome. It's just I'm not a fan of Lee Weeks' art. Nothing against Lee Weeks. We are starting to deal with some of the fallout of what is going on. This picks up with Bruce Wayne serving jury duty. And at the same time, we are seeing a fight in the past of Batman beating the ever-loving crap out of Mr. Freeze. And Dick Grayson's back, and he is kind of taking over Batman duties while Batman kind of licks his wounds kind of thing. It's a very interesting book. Like I said, the reason it wasn't my pick of the week is because there's one book that I thought that was a little bit better. And again, I'm not a fan of Lee Weeks' art. But it is something you should be picking up. Tom King is amazing, and he is still amazing here.
Next up, we have Batman 66. I did it backwards. Archie meets Batman 66. I really enjoy these weird crossover kind of books of two properties that are similar, but not quite. They're similar in that, you know, Batman's a little campy, and Archie's a little fun-loving, and you got to do a very delicate balance between an action thing like Batman, but like a good, fun-loving thing like Archie, because you're doing classic Archie, you're not doing like the horror stuff. This captured a really good vibe between the two, where you start off with a fight between Batman and Poison Ivy, and you realize there's a deeper plot going there as well, and it talks about some of Batman's other villains plotting to invade Riverdale for reasons I won't disclose. But Dan Parent art, I met Dead Parent too. Really sweet guy. You should support him. He's great. He's fantastic. He's a really good artist. And he didn't pay me to say that. That's just actual love for the man. Good work, Dan Parent. I like it. I want to see where it goes. It blends the world seamlessly, just like they did with Betty and Veronica meet Harley and Ivy. So if you're a fan of 66, it's all here. It's written perfectly. Get on it.
What could be my pick of the week? It is The Life of Captain Marvel, issue number 1. This is a 5-issue mini. It was really, really good. It's basically telling an origin story of Carol. She starts the book in kind of a bad mood. It's Father's Day, and she is beating the crap out of Moonstone to the point where everybody around her is like, is she hitting Moonstone just a little bit harder than she should be? And everybody's kind of agrees. It's like, yeah, I think we might have to stop her. She's going to kill somebody. And it was basically, you need to take a few days off, and she has to basically go home and confront the demons of her childhood, and basically what made Carol want to go become a fighter pilot, get away from her town in New Hampshire. And this is just a very well done book, and I liked everything about it. I'm probably going to pick up the rest of the series just to see how this goes. There is a tie-in to start to see the complications and the conflicts that are going to happen towards the very end of the book. But I didn't even need that. This book was interesting enough, just seeing the what happens with superheroes that don't necessarily go home a lot, and the possible resentment and isolation that those families feel with that. Definitely good. You should definitely pick this one up.
All right, it's time for my pick of the week, and it's Injustice versus Masters of the Universe. That's a weird combo. I enjoyed the Masters of the Universe Thundercats crossover they did, and it's the same artist, which is Fred Williams the second. I always forget if he's a second or a third. It's got Tim Seeley writing it. Tim Seeley, I really enjoy it when he does things that aren't mainstream. He's good at everything, but I really like it when he does his own thing and more horror-based things. This captures the mood of Injustice, where there's just like not a lot of hope. Superman's kind of a jerk, and everybody's going to die. But it also brings up He-Man, a universe that, if you only are exposed to cartoons, is super campy. And even though everybody looks cool, everybody kind of stinks. But they did a good job in the other series. This is an unofficial kind of sequel, because some of the events from the Thundercats one may apply here. This book was really good. They made all the He-Man characters look awesome. They picked some really obscure ones, which I love, because I had a lot of He-Man toys, including Moss Man, that did smell like grass. Very strange toy. I had that one. He's in it. He and Swamp Thing pal around, which I enjoyed. The basic idea is Eternia is going to come under attack from Superman eventually, because one of his bigger weaknesses is magic. Eternia has a lot of magic in it. And there's a really cool, the ending panel, which of course I'm not going to spoil, made me so happy. I cannot wait to read more of this. So check it out. If you're a fan of He-Man, you'll love it. If you're a fan of Injustice, it's going to carry on the world in a fun way. Get it. Alright, that's it. This is the end of the video. I'm very proud of you for making it to the end. Did you skip around? You should not skip around videos. That doesn't help anybody. Just watch the whole thing. Just leave it on in the background while you're like making a salad or whatever you're doing. Leave it on so that like the dog watches it. Your dog could use a little more intelligence. Video here, dog. Video here as well. That's it. Talking to your dog because you're just off making a salad in the kitchen or something.